Hi, Vishal, and welcome to the Effortless Conversation, Princeton Mortgage's podcast. We're so excited to have you. You joined our team back in January, so it's been about a solid 4 months, and we're excited to learn a little bit more about your onboarding, your experience, and just basically your overall perspective of Princeton. So tell me a little bit about you and your background.
Hey, Shelly, thank you for having me here. So I am a loan officer with Princeton Mortgage. I started in the industry back in 2012, so I've been in the industry for about 9 years now. When I started as a processor. Was working with loan officers, worked my way up to being a closer, and in 2015, I decided to go get my loan officer license. So that started the journey that has led me up to where we are now.
Awesome. No, that's amazing. I love that you kind of started from the bottom and worked your way to the top. It's a good success story. So let's dive in a little bit about you and go into some of these questions. So, why did you join Princeton Mortgage?
So I joined Princeton because of you. You called me,
Stop it.
and I had just left my previous job. I was taking a little bit of a break between jobs, and I got a call from you. I actually got a text and then a call from you, and I was like, okay, let's talk to them. Let's see what they have. Let's see what they have over there at Princeton. You set up the call with Mark and Kevin, and everything went smooth. I absolutely loved the transition, and yeah, here we are.
Awesome. No, I think that whole transaction sounds exactly how I remember it. So I'm glad that we're on the same page. Um, what intrigued you most about Princeton Mortgage?
So, what intrigued me the most about Princeton Mortgage is the culture, hands down, the culture. That first call with Mark really set an example on what was expected here from employees, what what employees can expect going into this atmosphere, and I absolutely love the transparency. So Mark told me exactly how it was going to be, and that's what it was. There was no false advertisement. What they say is exactly what it's like.
Awesome. And then I know that you and Mark had a specific conversation. I was on the call for it. I think that was something that was super intriguing too. Do you remember the conversation I'm talking about?
Yeah. So my first call with Mark, I'm never gonna forget this. My first call with Mark, he asked me about a third of the way into the conversation. He's like, "So Vishal, what's your goal? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish?" So I had the most cliche answer at first. I said, I want to make some money. I want to invest it, be successful. And Mark's like, it's a good answer, but I want you to dig a little deeper. So I paused for a minute and I was like, Mark, I want a red Ferrari. That's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, I want a red Ferrari. So from that moment on, everyone kind of knows me as the guy who said red Ferrari in the meeting with Mark. But yeah, that is something that's going to stick with me, and that made that goal coming to Princeton made that goal so much more real for me. I have an amazing support team here, amazing management. Um, they really have helped me grow. And we're well on our way to making that red Ferrari a reality. So.
That's awesome. And I love that he like challenged you. He was like, "What do you eat, sleep, and breathe every night?" And I'm glad that you were able to dig deep and find that. That makes it so much
Absolutely.
more real.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of Mark's questions. They really get you to think about, are you just answering for answering sake, or is this the answer that you really want to give? Is this what you truly want? Initial conversation with Mark really helped establish some trust there. Going after that conversation, I really felt like Mark wanted what's best for me, and if I ended up joining Princeton, which I did, I knew that the people who were there would definitely have my back and support me moving forward with my career.
Right? You get a red Ferrari, we all get a red Ferrari.
I've been told that many people at the company have came to me like, "Hey, can we just go in on a package deal for the Ferrari?"
Buy one, get one, half off. I love it. No, that's awesome. And then I guess the other question was, what has exceeded your expectations here at Princeton?
Um, the support. The support, right? I know going into it, I knew that it would be a supportive environment. I didn't know how much. It is unbelievable how much the managers here really watch out for you and are really have your best interest in mind. They help coach you. They help you sell loans. Help you set up a good process. One of the most important things for a loan officer is to time block, and that's not always taught to us from the beginning. And the management here really helps us establish a good system, a good process.
That's awesome. And how often do you meet with the like management training team?
Multiple times a week. So the trainings are about 3 times a week, and then I have individual meetings with my managers multiple times a week. They do periodically, check in randomly just to see how you're doing. All in all, the people here really care about you being here. So it's a very supportive environment.
I love that. That's great. And then the last question is, what is a day in the life here at Princeton like? If you want to add your own spin, add your own style, throw in a couple bullet points, but in your eyes, what is it like to work here?
Yeah, so a typical day starts off with the morning meetings with Mark and with the rest of the sales team. We on Mondays we have an underwriter in there to help us go over guideline to answer any guideline questions or help us go over any changes in guides. Um, Start off the morning with that, just a quick 30-minute meeting. I then start my day as a loan officer after that meeting. I meet with my assistant. We catch up on anything that we have to do for the day, set a plan of action, and follow through. Um, the rest of the day is pretty much contacting realtors, making sure transactions going through, keeping up with client, returning phone calls and meetings. Something that I recently started to do, I've been taking the last hour of my workday, a couple of days a week, and going to the gym on days where the day can be a little overwhelming. A way for me to kind of decompress. And the management style here is very supportive of decisions like that because they kind of allow you to do what you want and tackle your day the way you see fit. Um,
Yeah, no, they are all about freedom and responsibility, all about
exactly.
really just making sure that like, as long as you get your work done, then you can kind of tackle the day rest of the day however you want. So I completely agree. That's awesome that you can hit the gym, feel that like, decompression and that motivation for the next day.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you would add or anything else that you would tell a future employee here at Princeton that if you want to give them advice or just like a little tidbit, what would that be?
Um, the only advice I can give is yes, sign the paperwork, join Princeton. Join Princeton. I guarantee you won't regret it. You won't regret it. It's a great environment, and I love waking up and coming to work every single day, even though it's in my house. It the culture here really gets you started. Makes you want to come to work.
I love that. Good energy all around. Well, Vishal, thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes out of your busy day just to answer these questions. I know the Effortless conversation is going to appreciate it. Our marketing team is going to appreciate it. And we're excited to see where your journey lands. Hopefully, it lands in the front seat of a red Ferrari with me shotgun.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Shelly. Thank you for your time.